He was regarded as a prodigy.
Our first MVP of the summer 2015 is Origen's AD carry, Niels.
Dazzled as a rookie.
During their first split in the LCS, Origen has never dropped below third, and much of that success has been due to their 17-year-old AD carry, Niels.
And spearheaded one of the greatest dynasties in the history of European League.
And for the first time in history, the 4th consecutive EU LCS title. G2 Esports are the best team in Europe.
He left home to chase glory overseas.
Coming to America was a new challenge for me. As a person, as a player, my career is all I have in my life. It sounds a little sad, but it's really, my career is everything to me.
Became one of North America's most highly touted imports.
But Zven and Mithy coming over from G2, two-time European champions, certainly incredible players in their own right.
And then Zven and Mithy, the quote, best bot lane in the West.
And then, just as his dreams seemed to be within reach, it all came crashing down.
That is the end of this series and the end of TSM's perfect record of attending the playoff finals. Clutch Gaming will be the first organization to deny them their pass to the semis.
Few superstars have known as many astronomical highs.
The ace courtesy of Zven and the European LCS's G2 Esports have tied up the series.
And incomprehensible lows.
Zven! No quick silver sash. He is down. He is shut down.
What is he doing?
The Baron.
As Zven.
Niels jumped on by Lulex. Does he have the damage condemned against the wall? Yes, he does. Niels is unstoppable. This one, he's going to try it, and he may well get it. There we go, double. Gets the reset, jumps on. Oh, oh, dearie me. But the Nexus is going low. There's a double kill for Zven. They've managed to finish it. Daisy is going to be the only one left. They defend, but there's a big Gnar. 1-0, 2-0, 3. No, he just didn't. Oh, are you kidding?
With a big ultimate for 1-2, kill, 2 kills, and maybe the 5th as well, making out the clean ace, the triple kill coming in for Zven.
Norse comes out, followed by a flash, Mithy and Zven. They flashed forward, and they've got it!
Zven with a double, Zven with a triple kill, Zven with a quadra kill. TSM in game number 1 will kick their kites up. The pentakill. That's it.
This is his story. Jesper Zven Svenningsson was born in Skive, Denmark on June 24th, 1997. Even though he didn't start playing League of Legends until the age of 13, he immediately blossomed into something of a tryhard.
Very first time I was playing with my cousin, and my sister's boyfriend told me, hey dude, why you still play this old game? I was playing WoW, I think, or something, and he told me there's this new game called League of Legends, and it was like right before beta was, right after beta was out, and he was like, this game is fucking cool, go play it. And I was like, okay, I'll go sign up on the page, you know, and I was like, this game is fine, you know, I'll try it out a bit.
It didn't take long for him to realize that he had what it took to go pro. By 16, he'd solidified himself as one of Europe's most promising young AD carries.
I knew for sure that I was not going to finish school, I was going to go pro. Whether it was, I was sure it was going to be this season, no matter what. Like, I was 100% sure. Even before I had offers, I knew I was going to go pro, because I just knew it, you know. I was too good. Yeah.
Under a variety of handles, Flo, Zvanilan, and ultimately Niels, he spent the next 2 years trying to prove himself on a variety of amateur and challenger teams. His first notable roster was Intellectual Playground, a Danish side with whom Niels and Santorin achieved top 4 finishes in the We Play International and DreamHack Winter 2013.
The Nexus is completely exposed, and IPG may just have done this in 52 minutes. The Nexus will fall, and game 1 of this best of 3 series go to Intellectual Playground.
The roster disbanded after failing to make it out of groups at Copenhagen Games 2014, however, and Niels took a hiatus from competitive play.
Ever since that, I just chilled a bit and played solo queue all day and waited for my moment, my opportunity, and then it came in 2014 at the end of the year.
Niels was given the opportunity to join Origen, a newly formed challenger roster led by the legendary mid laner Xpeke.
I even asked Reckless, I remember. So I asked him, which AD would you think would be the best? And he told me, if you go with this guy Niels, I'm pretty sure you guys will qualify, because from what I see him playing in solo queue, I think he's completely one of the best ADs, and all he needs is to improve in a team environment.
And it was on Origen that Niels would meet a support with whom he would form not only an enduring friendship, but a world-famous lane duo, Mithy.
How I know the story is that Becky just asked Mithy, whoever you want to play with in bot lane, you can choose, it's your call. And I think it was between me and Taps at that time. And in the end we just played like some duo queues and stuff as a tryout or whatever, and that's how it came to be.
From the very get-go, Origen were a force to be reckoned with. They qualified for the 2015 EUCS spring season, lost only one match during that season, and swept Copenhagen Wolves Academy in the spring playoff finals to earn themselves a spot in the EU LCS.
This will be going down here, Stretch, and Origen, welcome to the LCS, because you've just dominated this series. You've taken the first place in the spring split of the Challenger Series. Congratulations!
As soon as Niels set foot into the LCS, he exploded.
Niels jumped on by Lulex. Does he have the damage condemned against the wall? Yes, he does. Niels is unstoppable, and he gets some help from Mithy.
So we'll find out. Gosu Pepper is down. We do see there's Mithy with the headbutt pulverized combo. Betsy spur rushing away with Expector out. Can Niels clean up? And the simple answer is yes. He's got himself a double kill as they turn their attention onto Cabo Shot. The Onslaught of Shadows is there just to keep Cabo Shot alive. The exhaust will hold him in place as Niels will get himself a triple.
Look at the bottom lane though, that inhibs down.
Niels gets it! Niels gets the kill, the flash forward from the body slam of Amazing. Gonna get more. Soaz was burning down fast and Freddy's looking for the kill, but he's gonna get dropped as Niels gets more.
Not only was Niels awarded Rookie of the Split, but he broke the LCS record for highest KDA in a single match and propelled Origen to a second place finish in the 2015 Summer Split.
During their first split in the LCS, Origen has never dropped below third. And much of that success has been due to their 17-year-old AD carry Niels.
And their playoff performance was equally impressive.
The Nexus turrets are being focused by the Super Minions. Amazing is trying to push them down as well, and Hjarnan will not be able to get more kills. H2K get aced. Origen, they were going to Stockholm, now they're going to Stockholm in the finals.
Come the grand finals, they managed to take 2 games off a nearly unbeatable Fnatic.
Origen in the 4th game after 15,000 gold down and giving away 2 Barons. They're going to force game 5. They're going to play Silver Scrapes.
The captain, he found the engage, they're going in.
Fnatic, they're going to finish it. They're going to kill the Nexus and they're going to Worlds. They will represent Europe as the #1 seed.
Niels had only been in the LCS for 1 split and had already qualified for Worlds. Despite being overshadowed by an extremely dominant Fnatic, Origen put up a strong group stage performance.
But it's gonna be enough! No way! Soaz is away with better! And Origen beat LGD! And they're gonna take down Team Solo Mid. Knockup coming in from Amazing. There's one more.
There it is.
Dive. There it is.
There we go.
GG!
GG, boys.
All right. Yeah. How about that? Origen. These guys are legit, man.
Are on to the Nexus. Origen will place first in Group D after taking down KT Rolls.
And with the crowd behind them, Origen go undefeated.
Origen advanced to the knockout stage and became the first Western team to win a best-of-5 at Worlds.
Uh-oh, Karsa taking the wrong tunnel, gets off of the wrong exit. There's the last grid to take him out. Niels is huge.
He gets Pixie and Black Shield and gets sped up. He's a one-man army and there's nobody can trade against him.
There it times out, but look at that. You can't go from the front, and Anivia Wall blocks off half the passage. State goes in, Sword Art low on health, and here comes the fight. Karsa killed off already. Sword Art should be next. Black Shield was down. They buy a bit of time. Another couple of kills come through as Stake has nowhere to go. A few more shots will do it. Oh. Boom! The kills come in, and this could be the semifinals for Origen. There's only one man left alive. This will surely be the base, and Europe has a semifinalist in the World Championship as Origen win 3-1.
In 1 year, Niels had gone from a Challenger Series player to LCS Rookie of the Split to a semi-final contender at Worlds. He was doing the impossible. There was only one problem. Defeating their next opponent would prove impossible. After all, few professional League of Legends teams have gone up against Faker's SK Telecom and lived to tell the tale. And despite all the rallies, chants, and thunderous applause, by Game 3, it had become clear. This was always going to be a blowout.
There's turret number 2. There's no stopping him now. It's time for SKT to make it to the finals undefeated.
But Niels had become one of the first Westerners to perform well internationally since the rise of Korea, and that was all that mattered. He was being hailed as the rookie of the decade, and it seemed all but certain that Niels was a superstar in the making. After Worlds, Origen hit the ground running. Their first tournament was IEM San Jose, where thanks in part to some truly inspired Niels and Mithy plays, Origen won the event without dropping a single game.
Yeah. Uhi playing with fire there. Flash dead. And now that's Afro movement sticks a very low here. Now if this was double lifted, a Rocket jumping in for this one, he's going to try it, and he may well get it. There we go, double, gets the reset, jumps on. Oh dearie me. And Mithy passes on the story to Niels, and that's a beautiful triple.
And it was in the wake of this tournament that the Dane adopted the moniker by which he's known today, Zven. Despite a hiccup at the ensuing IEM World Championships, Origen entered the 2016 Spring Split as strong contenders. But the EULCS had gotten more competitive, highlighted by a new threat that had paved their way from the Challenger Series to the top of the EULCS, the part European, part Korean powerhouse known as G2 Esports.
The Nexus is dropping, and with it being killed, G2 Esports are the best team in Europe!
To everyone's surprise, Origen finished the split in a stunning 4th. Come playoffs, however, their characteristic resilience resurfaced.
The first one is falling, the second is done shortly, and Origen will be performing a clean sweep. They keep their hopes of another final alive.
And now Jankos also caught out. Ryu, he's trying to go for the assassinate, but Zven, he's too slippery, he's too good. That's a second kill, and now going on to the Nexus itself.
The Nexus turret is going down, and against all odds, Origen take down H2K and are your first finalists in the Spring Splits.
The problem was that whereas Origen were considered to be the best team made up of Europeans, they were no match for the best team in Europe.
That's the last Nexus turret. That's gonna be it. We have a new king in Europe after all. 2015, they proved they were LCS material. 2016, they're top of the charts.
As far as Zven and Mithy were concerned, that was the last straw. They were widely considered the best carry support duo in the West, and still hadn't managed to earn a regional championship, never mind an international one. So they figured, if you can't beat them, join them.
The move that for me has thus far been the Western blockbuster trade of the offseason is Zven and Mithy, Zven formerly known as Niels, the bot lane of OG, Origen, moving over to the team they lost to in the final of the ULCS Spring Split, G2, formerly called Gamers 2.
Needless to say, the transfer invoked lots of criticism.
I don't like talking so much about the Origen stuff because of like the community backlash that happened and stuff, so it's a bit of a sensitive topic, but overall the main goal of the entire switch was to stay with Mithy. That was the most important thing. I could go different regions or a lot of different teams, even in EU, and all of them except for one was alone. So there was only one place I could go with him, and that was here. On top of being a good organization and good team, it was the best decision for sure.
But it worked. Within a few months, G2 had plundered their way through the summer season and were gearing up to trounce Splice in the final series of the split.
After using the Abyssal Voyage, Elder Dragon's still the target. Senkax is going to get dropped. Zven gets the kill credit, copies the target as the Chrono Break buys more time. Zven flashes forward, the shutdown kill. Splice are routed, they are killed, they are aced, and G2 are looking for the base.
Zven with a quarter grill, straight out of the Matrix.
G2 Esports strike first at a potential back-to-back split title. And a dominant game 3. G2 Esports are going to pad their KDAs ever so slightly. Senkax gets caught out by the Shadow Dash taunt from Expect, and Senkax is running for his life. Mithy turns his attention. Zven is dominating 6-0-8. I believe G2 are going to go for this one. It's in for the Summer Split Finals. It is for the Pentakill. It is for Perks. He gets it. Welcome to the G2 era. They are your Summer Split champions.
And this means
so much for both Zven and Mithy. They have not won a final yet. They've been here so many times. They joined G2 with the goal of winning the split, going to Worlds, and they achieved all of it.
G2 rode their championship momentum all the way to Worlds, where they were touted as Europe's greatest hope. And then, in one of the most inexplicable disasters in the history of European League, G2 bombed out of Worlds.
The Nexus turret's getting decimated! That's it! Last Nexus goes down!
Nox! 2 and 1 in the group! What beasts from the CIS region!
CLG bounced back with a dominating victory over G2.
The European chances, the European champions, they're falling apart. There's nowhere left to go. Perks is on the front line, dodges an Electro Harpoon, flashes the second. Nexus turret number 1 is down. Rocks peel away from the kills. Rocks Tigers turn onto the Nexus, and the Rocks Tigers eliminate G2 Esports from Worlds 2016.
Following their disappointing performance at Worlds, G2 returned to the EULCS with a vengeance. Hellbent on re-establishing their regional dominance, Zven and Mithy cut through 2017 spring season like a hot knife through butter.
There's no Nexus turrets. He's got one shot. He's got two. He's going to have to flash around the side. Expect picks up Exile. But the Nexus is going low. There's a double kill for Zven. They've managed to finish it. Daisy is going to be the only one left. They defend, but there's a big Gnar. 1 auto, 2 autos, 3. No, he just didn't. Oh, are you kidding? There's one damn hit left.
Zven gets the quadra kill and stops Unicorns from ending the game.
And it was more of the same in the playoffs.
G2, double kill for Perks. Samex is left alone in the base. Visit Chachi trying to turn it around, but the Nexus turrets are falling.
Zven completely clean house in this fight. Now Perks is buying the final moment.
He will indeed. Perks has led his team to victory. The Nexus is the focus, and this is a G2 dynasty.
With Zven and Mithy in full swing, G2 weren't just boasting one of the strongest bot lanes in the West. They were solidifying themselves as one of the greatest teams in the history of European League. MSI 2017 was G2's chance to make up for their horrific performance at Worlds. The whole reason that Zven and Mithy joined G2 in the first place was to show the world that Europe had what it took to win an international title. And they had no intention of failing twice in that regard.
They're all dead, it's over, and G2 get the comeback upset win over Flash Wolves, improving to 1-1 to close out the first day.
He's down! He's down! The Burger King is down! Wild Turtle follows immediately after. G2 Esports have killed Team Solo Mid. They've routed them. They've aced them. G2 Esports, they're taking down the Nexus turrets. Stun Team Solo Mid, and G2's shot at International Redemption stays alive. G2 Esports are onto the Nexus turrets. They were looking to prove to the world, to prove to Europe, this is where they belong. G2 Esports take down WE, and G2 are redeemed.
Zven had made it all the way to an MSI final. The problem was the 3-time world champion he'd be playing in that final.
Yeah, G2 now they have the unenviable task of facing SKT.
To no one's surprise, G2 dropped the first game of the series. And just as it was starting to look like a wash, like G2 would walk away with nothing except the privilege of having been dumpstered by Faker in an MSI final, they did the unthinkable.
Let's see what they can pick up for this one. 1-0, Trick running away, gets the shield, stays alive, make that a 2-0. A double for Zven, the damage up, but is there. The flash follow for Pricks, looking for the take in the support row, can't quite, will get. One more shot, will do it, can't quite get in range of Zven. The flash follow is slow as they expect to take one down. A rampage for the gangplank.
They're getting it all right now. They're in the face of SKT. 30 minutes into this game, and G2, they're dominating.
And G2 hoping history can repeat itself. Every best of 5 is a 3-1. It's a joke to some, but maybe it can happen. G2 Esports about to strike back, about to close down the game. The 4th death for Faker. The ace courtesy of Zven. And the European LCS's G2 Esports have tied up the series.
For one brief second, G2 made it look as if they had what it took to do the impossible. G2 went on to lose the series 3-1, but it didn't matter. They'd come within an inch of destabilizing Korea's dominance, and the hope was that come Worlds, they'd be able to finish the job. Following their penultimate finish at MSI, G2 had a shaky summer season. They finished second in their group behind Fnatic and had to fight tooth and nail with Splice to get past the first round of the playoffs.
And after a 5-game series, G2 yell their era is not over!
And then, just like that, G2 turned the Jets on. Despite being slated to struggle throughout the knockout stage, G2 went on to earn their 4th consecutive regional championship and a spot at that year's Worlds, without dropping any more games. The problem was that G2's Worlds group was exceptionally difficult. Forced to contend with both Samsung Galaxy and Royal Never Give Up, G2 had to fight harder than most to stay alive. And just when they looked to be out, they managed to claw their way back in.
G2 focusing down the Nexus, and G2 Esports demolish RNG!
Yes, we predicted the teams that were leading the group to make it out of it, but G2 is trying to make it a much more dynamic conversation. If they now beat 1907 as well as Samsung, there is a very good chance that they will get out of this group. That will put them at 4 wins and also keep the possibility of that 3-way tie alive.
Unfortunately, G2's 3-3 finish simply wasn't enough to get them into the knockout stage. With their contracts about to expire, and with G2 having bombed out of Worlds for the 2nd year in a row, it was clear that Zven and Mithy might be looking to make a change. The pair were still considered to be the best bot lane in Europe, if not the West at large, and any team would be happy to have them.
I think that this time will give them, some time to think, a window of time to think and reflect, and I think it's fantastic. So we love these two guys, and let's see what comes out of it.
About a month after their devastating turnout at Worlds, it was announced that the coveted couple had been picked up by North American juggernaut Team Solo Mid. With an ache in their heart, Zven and Mithy were going to California. TSM's decision to sign Zven and Mithy came in the wake of their equally disappointing group stage exclusion from Worlds. For years, TSM had dominated the NALCS, and yet, despite amassing the most titles of any organization, they'd always struggled to perform internationally. Needless to say, TSM's acquisition of Zven and Mithy wasn't without its drama. On the EU side of things, this marked the 2nd time in their careers that they'd been framed as traitors.
I understand that a lot of EU fans have this EU pride thing, and it sucks that every year some of your favorite players leave your region, so it's harder for you to cheer for them. It's hard for you to grow a bond to a player. I understand it, but I also want you guys to understand that you have a short career in esports, and you gotta do what is best for yourself.
As far as NA was concerned, the issue was with Zven and who he'd been brought in to replace. Namely, one of the most storied and successful AD carries in the history of North American League, Doublelift.
As for the rest of TSM, I'm planning on just destroying them this whole year. I hope Team Liquid can have a perfect record against TSM, shit on them in the finals if they make it there. I want to absolutely demolish TSM's legacy and make sure that they regret that decision.
The problem was that adored as he was, Doublelift's success had only ever been regional. As far as TSM were concerned, Zven had a proven track record of being able to do what Doublelift and the vast majority of North Americans never could: perform on the international stage.
When we signed Zven, I kind of felt like he was the only player that was suitable to replace Doublelift, because Doublelift was one of the best, or still is one of the best AD carries in the West, and the only person, in my eyes, that could really rival him was Zven.
With Doublelift moving to Team Liquid, and Liquid being touted as the only real challenger to TSM, a rivalry began to take shape between Zven and the player he was expected to outclass. The problem was that he didn't. At least, not at first.
Looks like there's a collapse on bottom. A lot of damage. They know no ulti for Callisto. Plenty of damage here. Exhaust. Here comes Gangplank as well. The flash forward. Double also knock him back in and does so. Another pushback and Doublelift gets himself the kill. 2-0 to Liquid. No defense left for TSM. The flash. Ulti into the backline. They're looking for that kill. And they're likely to get it. Zven not long for the world. He's going to fall down. Doublelift getting revenge yet again in his ex-team. And under 30 minutes, Liquid going to shut down TSM in the first game of the split. And Doublelift gets revenge on his old team.
Despite their championship clout, TSM got off to an extremely shaky start. They lost 3 of their first 4 matches, and by week 5, were trying to recover from a 4-6 record in time for playoffs.
I feel like we have the manpower, talent, whatever, to be a good team, and we have good structure as well. Something goes wrong on stage too often, and we need to start playing the same thing in scrims as on stage.
Remarkably enough, TSM proceeded to go on a 7-1 run. positioning themselves in a 4-way tie for third with Clutch Gaming, Cloud9, and Team Liquid. They managed to carry that momentum into the tiebreaker itself, where they beat out Clutch and Liquid to secure that coveted third seed. And then, come the quarterfinals, it all fell apart.
Very long death timers on multiple members of TSM. The Nexus is low, the team is down, and Clutch Gaming will tie this sucker up. Bjergsen has to work a legitimate miracle to hold this game now, but I don't see it happening. Ladies and gentlemen, Clutch Gaming takes TSM to match point.
You don't get any more freebies. There are no more, it's okay, we'll win the next one. You either win the next two here, or for the first time in North American LCS history, you don't pass quarterfinals. And for TSM, that is not a reality they want to admit.
It's 1-for-1 so far. Support's going to be traded off. Lyra's bomb is kept alive again. And Zven, true to his words, will end them today. TSM routed the game over. And that is the end of this series and the end of TSM's perfect record of attending the playoff finals. Clutch Gaming will be the first organization to deny them their pass to the semis and will earn their spot in Miami.
In what was supposed to be their biggest year yet, TSM had achieved their worst regional result. It was a disaster. And from there, it only got worse. TSM wasn't even able to qualify for MSI, took 5th in the summer season, 3rd in the summer playoffs, and worst of all, failed to qualify for Worlds after getting swept by Cloud9 in the regional finals. It would be the first time that the storied NA org would not make it to the game's biggest stage. Going into 2019, it was clear that changes needed to be made. What wasn't clear is whether they would work. Whether Zven could go back to being the be-all and end-all ADC he once was. On December 3rd, 2018, it was announced that Massey, Sven's legendary support, had been kicked from TSM.
It wasn't difficult for me because I didn't really have to choose to split up or not. I just tried to look at what happened, and what happened is that we split up.
It was also announced that TSM would be entering a rebuilding year. In addition to bringing in Smoothie as Massey's replacement, TSM had decided to take a gamble on 2 lesser-known players, Acadian and Broken Blade. For Zven, the aim was to own up to the failure that was 2018 and recover from it.
After 2018, I had a long time to think, like, okay, what the happened in this year? Like, why did everything go so wrong? Was just this, or what should I change next year? How should I prepare for next year so this doesn't happen to me again? And I was thinking, I need to make this worth it. I want to make sure that I don't look back at these 2 years or 3 years, whatever, how many years I'm here, and think, yeah, that wasn't worth it. That was the worst time of my life. I want to make sure that these years are worth it. I want to make it an experience that I'll remember forever.
And for whatever reason, it worked. TSM finished the 2019 spring season only 1 win behind Cloud9 and the star-studded Liquid.
Impact tries to get himself something. The Shockwave finds nothing. Double-It goes down, and TSM will 2-0 Team Liquid in the regular spring split.
Going into playoffs in dominant form, TSM taking down TL.
Their playoff run saw them take down Echo Fox 3-1 before conducting a remarkable reverse sweep of Cloud9 in the semis.
It started rough. They made the reverse sweep happen, and TSM will earn their place in St. Louis.
Needless to say, there was a tremendous amount of hype surrounding TSM's final matchup against Team Liquid. Not only were Doublelift and Bjergsen both vying for a 6th LCS title, but the rivalry between Doublelift and Zven hadn't subsided in the slightest.
Because Doublelift is good, right? He's skilled and he can carry games by himself. But when he can't carry, because his opponent is as good as him, or maybe even better, so unless TL steps up massively for the playstyle, I'm confident I'll match against them.
I feel bad for Zven especially because all the fans just say, man, the team was so much better when Doublelift was here, and it must make him feel like shit all the time. Which is actually really good for me because I have like this mental advantage over him 24/7.
More importantly, Zven was determined to set a record of his own.
But for me, it's like something else because I'm the only player right now that can still win both NALCS and the ULCS. And for me, that's like something important just for myself. it would be so dope to be the first person to win both, you know?
Considering that Liquid were the clear favorites and back-to-back defending champions, it was rather surprising to see TSM take Game 1.
And now for the last few kills, TSM are just wreaking havoc. A double kill may get a triple in his first LCS finals, and he wants even more.
Do they go for it?
Quadra for the Vladimir, and the next is more important. TSM 1-0.
It was even more surprising to see them take Game 2.
TSM ensuring it is theirs, and they are one game away from returning to their legacy. TSM 2-0.
But Liquid were resilient. And on the brink of defeat, they rallied.
And Doubleth and the rest of Team Liquid will answer back. We will go to Game 4, and Team Liquid will hope for the reverse sweep for their third straight title. A 25-minute win. Team Liquid bring us to Game 5, and that one is anyone's game.
But come Game 5, TSM managed to swing the momentum back in their favor. Liquid was getting obliterated, and it was starting to look like there was no way for them to climb back in.
TSM will take the Ace and the Infernal Dragon.
And then this happened.
So far, TSM has outmaneuvered Zven. No quick silver sash. He is down. He is shut down.
What is he
now
doing?
Onto the Baron.
On the back of a misplay that will go on to live in infamy, Zven single-handedly allowed Liquid to mount a comeback, and ultimately hoist a trophy that Zven himself was all but guaranteed to hold.
What is the objective that we are fighting for here? Did he die trying to get the fucking Spire? Control? Why? Rek'Sai's bot lane! What are we doing?
And yet, despite the fact that Zven has since faced a lot of flack for that maneuver, it takes more than one mistake to throw an entire series.
I'm sorry. It's okay. I think all of us could have made a lot of better decisions.
Yeah, I think everyone had their moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where each person could have won different games.
Yeah.
Zven is a 3-time EU LCS champion. He's finished top 4 at Worlds, top 2 at MSI, and in both cases met his defeat at the hands of the greatest player to ever live. The fact that he's gone from an international contender to squabbling over domestic titles in NA isn't lost on him.
I wanted so much more. Because you always want what you can't have. That's just how it works for humans in general, right? You always want what you can't have. And coming to America was a new challenge for me. As a person, as a player, my career is all I have in my life. It sounds a little sad, but it's really, my career is everything to me.
At the end of the day, Zven is one of the greatest Western ADCs of all time. Period. That's not going to change just because his career as an import hasn't panned out the way he thought it would. His story is far from over, and he won't stop until he's made his return to the top.
So I'm giving it my everything every day. Every day I imagine myself winning the finals. I think myself, what am I gonna do when I win? Am I gonna stand and scream, or am I just gonna jump around? And I'm thinking about that moment every day, and it's all I think about.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.